All right.
Don, Shalom, Shalom. His brother Potter Wafia from SOZ Houston.
I'm ready to call SOZ Atlanta.
Right. And we
And
also
we
got brother
also
on here from SOZ Houston. Right. This is another episode of Blowing the Trumpet.
and stay on that pivot.
Oh yeah, all praises, man. Right.
Yeah.
So hey, we got an update on a lot of the things that we've been seeing in the earth. Right. We're gonna go into it a little bit. Pull out these precepts, Lord willing, right, and further edify the sheep, man. Right. Can you please give me the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 17? Let's get that out. Let's get that said first. Not out the way, but let's get that said.
Most deaf, right? This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse number 17. Right? This is the SOZ classic. It reads, and whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
All right, so we do all things in the name of the Most High. We do all things to glorify and to exhort and to please the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai, man. Right? You might get one more precept for me.
God.
Nothing.
Let me know when Karatazar come back in here too, because I can't see the screen.
You said again.
I said, let me know when Karatazar come back in, because I can't see the screen.
Khan. Another classic, right? The precept is going to be Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1, Baba Kashah.
God. There's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse number 1. It reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he was saying to me, and what I shall answer when I am approved.
You see that? And that's what the men of the Lord doing. We're watching, we're paying attention. Go ahead, King.
Right? I got the Sirach. It's lucky. I got the book of Sirach, chapter 15, and the last verse. Right? And it reads, it's like I'm tripping. Uh 5 in the last verse. I get it mixed up. Bear with me. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 15. There we go. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Right? So, like he was going into, right? Again, as we say every week, we got a lot of information to dispose of, or rather to hand out to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, or to those that are come into this truth and know better. Right? So now we can't be ignorant of any devices that are put out there that are set against us, right? Or that's going on in the world, chiefly in what they call America, but now it's become worldwide, globally, right? The events that's going on earth that are pushing out the prophecy that are written in the scriptures. So we cannot be ignorant of anything, as the scriptures say, in a great matter or a small. We have to know the things that's going on in the earth so we know where we're at in prophecy, right? But you got a King Potter.
Khan. Khan, man. Right? And once you see those things that the Lord is doing, right, you have to prepare yourself, man. Right? And the greatest way to prepare yourself is to do what? Seek the Lord, man, and convert yourself. Right? That's the only way you're going to get the protection of the Most High God is if you're doing the things that are pleasing unto Him, huh? Right? So let's go ahead and dive into that first article, Baba Shah.
Con, right? So the first article, we have this. I think I have to for you to be able to hear it, I think I have to do it through the window. So bear with me 1 second.
Now, brother's been talking about this, man. Right? Salaki, why he do that? Brother's been talking about this, right? How the last video, hey, they got robots replacing your jobs, man. Right? Robots now are going to start be Amazon delivery drivers. They already got drones delivering packages, man. The police already got robot dogs patrolling the streets, man. Right? And soon, what? You're gonna have a robot in your house, man. Kind of all up, all up in
Chilling.
the kitchen, right? He all up in the videos, right? Doing everything. You might have a robot. Hey, start giving you preaching sermons, man. Right? This is it's an ongoing thing, man. And you know what I'm saying? It just reminds me of the movie Terminator, man.
Yup.
That's what it
Con,
reminds me of. Let's see how advanced this robot is, right? Go ahead, King. Start over from the beginning, Baba Shah.
Kind and real quick before I started, they've already made it so accessible and have made it so convenient and comfortable for us to live with them already. I mean, think on a lot of iPhones, people they use Siri. I don't want to activate it, right? But people they use Siri, right? I don't know what it's called on Android, but people use Alexa, people
Yeah,
use
that Google Pixel.
right.
See that?
You got all hell breaking loose, man. Right? She just played "You Don't Know My Name" by Alicia Keys after I said activated Siri, right? So these things are accessible easily, right? And they're making it more comfortable for us to get into the mindset of, okay, this is just normal, right?
Hey,
You got Go ahead, King.
hey, and they're always listening.
Yeah, literally, right? They just put out an update on iPhone, right, saying you don't have to say "Hey Siri" no more. It's just Siri, right? And a lot of times she kind of just goes off and you don't realize it, right? That's why when people they might text somebody, right, and they might accidentally send a message because Siri's listening to them, and she'll be like, "Are you sure you want to send? Right? Do you need directions here and there? Right? They're always listening, right? You might get ads started catered to you, right? You might have been thinking about something or having a conversation. Me and Potic have a conversation, and the next thing you know, we get an ad about it the very next hour because they're always listening, right? So it's gotten to the point where these is normalized. People are kind of expecting it at this point, right? But I could play it if you're ready.
Khan, I'm gonna add one more. Hey, and one more fact to that, right? Hey, they know when they pay attention so much. They know when we're going to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, man. Every time around Tabernacles, I get what ads of tents, man, ads of camping things. So they know these feast days, man. Soon Passover is gonna be coming up. I bet you I'm gonna see some stuff about Passover, man. Ads. Do you want a menorah? Right? Do you need candles? Right? They watch us, man. This is their version of angels, man. The Most High God, He got angels. They watch you. They go whatever you go. They hear everything you say you do. Hey, this is their phone, man. This is their version. The phones, man. Technology. But go ahead, King.
Kind of, right? So I'm gonna replay it from the beginning. I gotta reload. Right? Check this out.
What do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great. Can I have something to eat?
The robot is describing what it can see, right? You might have a your iPhone can't tell you what it sees, right? But you have the robot, it can detect what the specific thing on this table is. It says a drying rack, an apple, and you standing in front of me, you know.
Hey, and they combined it with that AI technology that they're developing, man.
Yep.
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could.
So not only is it able to process, a request, it's also multitasking, right? So it's able to put the apple or whatever in the trash in the basket while answering his question, while having, carrying a normal human. It even used in his sentence, right? Right? He said, sure. So basically, this robot it has the mind of a man now. You got it, got it.
Oh, Khan, yeah, hey, that robot really don't need that. It put that there to make it seem like it's more human, right? But
Yeah.
let's be honest, man, the robots power, right? Power to process, the power to understand is a lot more advanced than what they're showing right here, man.
Mhm.
a lot more advanced, right? When you talk to Siri, Siri doesn't say right? But they want this thing to say because what? They want this to be in your homes, and they want to make you feel like it's a human. But eventually, it's gonna stop saying those doing those little things that seem human-like, right? To get your attention, huh? But that's it. Go ahead. Let's finish it, please.
Could provide you with from the table.
So
Great. So based
Salakia,
on
right? Imagine, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to introduce this thing as a home-friendly thing. Hey, look, you know, you on the go. Hey, you know, you could have the robot in there to prepare the food for your kids, man. Right? Have the robot watch your kids when you're not there. Right? Kind of like the movie I, Robot, man. Make those robots kind of mandatory and easy to access, man.
Come. It's this
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
It's this game called, I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Detroit, Become Human, where they had the AI kind of taking care of the kids, and they was, you know, they kind of had to break through the walls of the man. You know, a man told her to stay put. She kind of breaking through the wall. She kind of like, you know what? No, you know, she kind of defiant. They call it defiance, right? She kind of defiant what he's saying, right? You had another one. He was a police officer, and then one of the robots went haywire and held the little girl hostage, right? Because they was being defiant, man. The game was showing you, right, what could be the future of AI. And these were, you know, robots dressed in everyday clothes. They had skin on them, eyeballs, you know. You couldn't even tell it from a real man, you know.
It's a Salakia. And when the robot died, what happened? They just replaced it with another robot, man.
Yeah.
And transported the old memories into the new robot.
Yeah. They started a revolution, you know. One of the, I believe, you know, in one scene, and the little girl, you know, she was revealed to be a robot.
Yeah.
Real.
See that? Hey, and you know what I'm saying? Imagine this, man. These things right here, right? Because Esau is perverse, man. So you gotta see what Esau really trying to do or what he will do, man. Right? We already know that they're working on robots containing and carrying life and giving birth to people, man. Right? They already got a mock up how they make this thing look humanoid, man. Right? Matter of fact, in Arabia, they had a AI like technology convention, and they had an AI robot standing behind it, and it kind of touched the reporter's butt, man.
I saw that. Yeah,
you saw that, and it looked just like a human, man, just like a man or a woman.
They gave him the head wrap and everything.
Gave him the head wrap, gave him the beard and everything, man.
Yep.
Right? We know that Esau prefer if Esau is falling in love with his damn cars right now. It's kind of trying to have sex with trees, right? Having sex with goats, horses, right? We had a brother put in the chat, man. He found an article about a damn Edomite raping a horse, man, and the horse is traumatized. It tells you that. So imagine what Esau's planning to do with that thing, man. We see all in these sci-fi movies, you got these alien-like things. Best believe they're gonna try to turn these robots, paint them up like aliens, and man, have their way with them, man. You gotta call it how you see it, man. But let's go ahead, King. You got it.
Gun, you know, they're very perverse people, man. The scriptures tell you that, you know. Right? But we can continue with the video.
On the scene right now.
You got it.
I was about to say, you might want to check to see if Karajas are back. I'm about to start heading to work right now, though.
All right, bet. Brother not back yet.
Where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
And this is just another way of Esau. He's trying to be like the Most High, right? I'm gonna let this video finish off, and then I'm gonna get a few precepts. Right? It says, I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, here is the latest figure, a startup that has raised 1.5 billion to create humanoid robots. Right? So we already America's trillions in debt. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I believe, what's it called? Let's see, American debt. Is it the calculator? If I can remember correctly, the debt clock. That's what it's called. Right. So let's just look at the numbers. Right. This is. Let me see. Share this tab instead. So this is. Let me make sure it's sharing the screen. All right, there we go. So this is the U.S. national debt clock. It says, and I quote, right? This is hundred, this is thousand, this is million, this is billion, and this is trillion. The U.S. national debt is 34 trillion 512 billion 908 million and increasing in debt, right? So having a 1.5, let me see, how much was it? $1.5 billion robot, humanoid robot, as a startup, this could be a failed project, man. But this as a startup, this could be, this is contributing to the U.S. national debt. And then you got Edomites all over the place. Inflation. Oh, we inflation. Edomites complaining about inflation. Meanwhile, this is still on the rise, man. This number is not dropping anytime soon. Right? The U.S. is in debt. Not only is it in a national debt, but it's indebted to Israel. the U.S. is indebted to Yahushua, the Most High. The U.S. isn't more than what dollars could count, right? The U.S. is in debt, right? So, and it tells you, it goes into specifics, right? Just the workforce and now the unofficial unemployed, state debt, all these different types of sectors. It tells you just how bad the U.S. is doing, right? So putting that aside, right? That's just the visual. But yeah, the U.S. is F, man. It's screwed, right? So I'm gonna get this precept real quick. Let me get the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. This is a classic, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. Because this is a form of Esau's control. Esau wants nothing more than to be that top number one power, right? Esau wants control, right? They want to be like the Most High. They want to have their own life forms. They have a sense of, okay, I can do this at the command of my mouth. They want to be in that position, right? There's nothing changed about these people. It says, I'm going to read I'm going to start at verse 12, right? Let me share my screen. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. And the reason why I say didst weaken the nations is because Esau, they're that top power. They were that number one. They was on top, right? Still on top for a very long time, right? They're literally the leading world power, if you didn't know, right? It says, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. So this is prophecy. We can see it's prophecy because they haven't been cut down to the ground yet. Right. This is to come. And we see that they're being weakened. Right. But, it hasn't gotten to the point where America's just, on the bottom of the barrel. Right. So let's see. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. Right. So they're let me make sure this brother's not. All right. Their preposition or the position that the stands that they stand on is they want to be atop of all the nations. They want to sit on top of the throne. They want to be that leading power like they are now, right? They want to be literally in control, right? It says Isaiah 14 and 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, right? So their goal is to be like the Most High. That's their ultimate goal. They want to create life stages. They want to produce their own food and genetically engineer and create their own weather and clouds, right? We see them doing that. Create their own natural resources, right? Create their own life forms, right? They have babies growing in labs, right? They have kids growing in test tubes, right? Running experiments on people, running experiments on Israel, trying to get certain DNA to create their own, um, uh, 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 genetically breeded, life forms, man, right? They have these it was bad with the sperm banks, man. They got these sperm banks, right? And you got the Edomites in there. They kind of got their legs folded, right? Flipping through the magazine, right? Saying, oh, well, I want my baby to have curly hair, right? With pretty hazel eyes, right? And I want them to be this tone. And then they choose, the DNA in the sperm, right? Of to match theirs to get that outcome, right? So they're mixing and matching, right? Because they want to be like the Most High, right? If you got a point, Potter, you can hop in there, right? But they're doing all this because they want to be like the Most High. So when we see things like this, right, we're not surprised because this is a perverse people, right? The scriptures tell us that these people, right, there is no end to their wickedness, right?
Hey,
But you got a
Con, let me
point,
get, yeah, Con, can you get Revelations 19 and 1?
Con.
Right? Because, yeah, best believe they're doing that, man. They alter their own semen, right, so they can get the kind of chosen child that they want, man. And if the child don't come out like they like, man, they use them as products, man. And they pay what? Another $2 million, $3.4 million, and they do it again, man. So you gotta think about it. Who's paying for all of this, man? Right? You showed earlier, brother, you called America in debt, but who's really paying off that debt? Because it's the so-called white man that's kind of taxing you for everything, man. So I'm gonna just tell you, you know what I'm saying? We Israelites are paying that debt off, man. Right? And they spending more than what they can steal from us, man. Cause they steal money out of your paycheck every week, right? They charge you 6% every time you swipe your card. Or matter of fact, they charge you 6% on everything you buy in general. Then they charge you what? They charge you a little bit for swiping your card, man. So they're robbing us blind, man. So this is the place that we're in, right? And Esau, because he's wicked and evil, man, he's going to destroy not only himself, but us along with him, right? Can you get that revelation?
Con, King,
Go
right?
ahead,
I
King.
got it right here, right? Revelation chapter 19 and verse 1. And after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, salvation and glory, and honor and power unto the Lord our God.
Read on.
Verse 2. For true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand.
Right? Hey, we have judged that great horse. Talking about Babylon, but let's read.
Verse 3. And again they said, Hallelujah, and her smoke rose up forever and ever.
You see that? He said, we have judged that great whore, man. And when you read about it, it tells you that what? It is the home of every unclean spirit, man. Right? And that's what America is, man. It's the home of every unclean spirit, and you can see it by their inventions, man. Right? The brother you call brought out a beautiful precept in Isaiah 14, verse 12 on down, man. How they want to be like the Most High and ascend unto heaven, man. That's why they got these skyscrapers, man. Right? That's why they create these artificial life forms, man. Right? Because they're trying to prove that what? They're better than the Most High and that they can create something better than what the Most High creates, man. Right? But with that, you know what I'm saying? I'm a yield. I don't know if you are, but I'm ready to hop in that next article unless you had a point.
Nah, we get into it. Like I say, we talk about this pretty often. The AI, the robots, things of that sort. So, it's pretty clear, what Esau is trying to do, and it's pretty, we know their capabilities and things of that sort. But we all understand that this is all of the Most High. First and foremost, before Esau and before Israel has any power, it's all granted of the Most High, right? So we can't fear these things when we see them coming, right? Nobody on this, in this truth should fear a bunch of wires and code, man. Even though they say they could do this, they're capable of doing that. At the end of the day, these are creations, made by the hands of man. This isn't the Most High God. The Most High put it in the spirit of these creatures and animals and people to do the things that they do. So the Most High can also put in the spirit as well to protect you, right, and to not cause you any harm, right. So we shouldn't fear these things, but we should thank the Most High that prophecy is coming upon the earth, and we should, prepare our spirits, and our souls for temptation, like it tells us in Sirach chapter 2, right. So moving on, that, right, we're gonna get into this one now. This is the book. This book. This is the article. End time headlines, right? Use this source all the time. It says Visa says Palm biometric payments have promising future, right? So if you don't know what biometric is, right, or biometric payments, that's like using a piece of you or your DNA to basically uh, um, unlock the security, right? So Apple has this thing, or I'll say most phones nowadays, it has this thing where you can unlock your phone screen using your face, right? Using a fingerprint, right? That's biometric, right? Even laptops have where you use a fingerprint and unlock the screen or the lock screen with the fingerprint, right? That's using biometrics. It's using a piece of you, right? Or biology, right? Biometric, right? To basically unlock that security, right? So it's saying Visa says palm biometric payment, so using your palm, right, have promising future. And we see this with, I believe it's Amazon. Um, like I said, I believe I said it last video, right? Amazon is, wait a minute, right? Amazon is also, if you can't, mute your mic, it's a lot of noise coming through, right?
Block.
You good, King. But Amazon, they started using are starting to use, right, the I believe it's like palm, pay with your palm or something like that. Esau came up with something, right, to where you can use your palm to pay for certain things on Amazon, right. So let's read about this. It says it has a promising future. It says payments grant Visa showcase its pay by palm biometric payment technology at an event marking the transformation of its Singapore Innovation Center last week, right? So during these conferences, they reveal certain technologies and things that they're coming out with, things that they're working on, right? And this is one of the things that have been in the works for a very long time. And what it seems as though they're coming closer and closer to basically allowing it to go global, right? The future of biometric payments is promising and is said to revolutionize the retail experience, right? So you might go to Walmart, that's retail, right? You might go to your favorite store. You might go to Nike, you might go to Foot Locker, right? And you might kind of got to pay with your palm. A card scanner not working, they don't accept cash no more because the timing is immaculate, right? The cashless society, the value of the US dollar going down, right? So now, they're trying to bring about that world currency, right? The easiest way to pay for that, it would be, through simply a swipe of the hand, right? So that's their way of, or Esau's, logic, right, to revelizing a retail experience, right? You go to the store and you get what you want, right? You tried on your shoes, you kind of did the walk in them, and now you're ready to check out and you got the palm ready, right? That's all you got to do nowadays. It says the future of biometric payments is promising and set to revolutionize, already read that, right? The retail experience, right? It is still relatively nascent and most likely won't become mass market for a while, right? Various factors influence the acceptance of biometric payments, including regulation, technology, and consumer acceptance, which often depends on the market, right? So of course they got to take consumer acceptance into account because you got brothers and sisters, they're not going for this, right? We already know this. Hey, don't accept nothing that has to be inserted into you, especially by Esau. Why? Because these people are perverse, right? They'll put something in they'll put something in you, and you'll be jacked up, right? So, and they could do that by any means, whether it's by fear, whether it's by the fear of missing out, just your favorite celebrities talking about it. They kind of got the right hand, they swiping it, right? It goes live on Instagram, everybody talking about it now, right? Consumer acceptance, right? It says, however, the current pace of integration and acceptance of new technologies that we are seeing is very encouraging. So this thing is looking like they said is promising, and we can expect to see biometric payments becoming more mainstream within the next decade. So with that, I'm gonna get the book of Daniel. We ain't got to read no more of that, um, because we understand, we understand that this was coming. For those of you that don't know, right, this has been around for a while. I'm gonna get the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25, right? It reads, and through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. So this is looking like a very, revolutionizing the retail experience. That sounds like peace. You ain't got to scramble on Black Friday, and you ain't got to scramble on this and that to the hassle, and they call it the hassle and hustle and bustle of going to the store, right? A lot of people, they shop from home, right? But now they see all they got to do is swipe with their hand. Maybe I will go and take a browse. Let me go see what it's about. Let me see how this works, right? It's all the new shiny thing, right? People are going to want to get into that, right? It says real quick, and this is nothing new. Again, it says Visa first previewed its palm payment technology in 2015. So it's been almost 10 years in the making, in development, which is a very short period of time for something like this, right? So who knows? Hey, this thing could go haywire, and no Israelite should be trying to get this, right? This this isn't cool, man. This isn't cool. It's not hip, right? This, once that thing goes into you, hey, they might have all your data, everything about you pulled up, right? It says, and by peace shall destroy many, right? Because that's the ultimate goal. It's not to revolutionize the retail experience. It's not to bring peace upon many. It's to, and by peace, right, using peace shall destroy many. It says, he also shall stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand, right? So, not going too deep into it, right? We understand that he's going to use this peace. It's all peace. Everything's all good. We all Gucci over here, right? We're we're innovating at a fast rate, right? New things are popping up, new technologies are here, right? This is a great thing, but really it's used for the destruction, right? And I'm gonna get one more precept, right? Uh let's see. I want the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 4. I ain't even share my screen, right? But this is the book of Daniel 8 and 25. I'm gonna get Revelation chapter 20. And if you got a point, Potter, let me know. I think Potter, he kind of left.
There we go. Con, I was in the backstage.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know you left, me.
I got a precept for you whenever you're ready.
Con, I'm gonna bring out this one real quick, and I'm gonna let you get in there.
Con.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 20, and I believe I want verse number 5. No, I want verse number 4. It reads, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. Right. So going into not accepting of the doctrines and philosophies and things that Esau pushes out, right, or the beast that Esau, he promotes, right? So taking this into consideration, we can't accept the things that look shiny or new, right? Because this is not our rest. Let me get that real quick. I'm moving kind of fast because, on a bit of a crunch. I don't want to take up too much time, right? I want Potter to get in there, right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 14. For we have no continuous city, but we seek one to come, right? So don't think that this is going to last. Just you're going to have 18 generations, right? And the world is going to change, and the Israel will be liberated, and we'll have acres and acres and hundreds of millions of acres of land in America. When it's not set up to be that way, right? It says, "For we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come." This is not a continuing city, right? It'll be destroyed. It's literally prophesied that this place will be destroyed. So why put all your eggs in one basket? Don't go for the policies that's put out against you, Yasharala. But you got it, Brother Potter.
Hey, Khan, can you give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1?
Isaiah 30 and 1.
Khan.
I got you. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse number 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin."
See that? So the Lord said, woe unto these people, man, that don't trust in him, but trust into what? Their own covering, man. Right? See, a lot of the time we trust in Esau. Right? We trust in Esau's ways, his inventions. Right? We trust Esau with a lot of things, man. Right? And if you don't believe me, I'm going to ask you something simple, man. Does your phone right now, can you do Apple Pay? Matter of fact, even better, right? Is your Bible on your phone? Right? When you go to the bank, man, who owns those banks? Right? What happens in your car if you don't pay your bill? Right? Who has the power to cut you off from your bank account so you can't pay that note for your car? Right? So we trust ourselves and the things that we own to the Esau, the so-called white man. Right? And if you don't pay attention, right, the Esau, he's gonna have you doing what? Getting that same mark put inside your hand, man. And make you trust in him, man. The Lord's gonna give you up to what? Your enemies, and he's gonna let them do whatever they want to you, man. So our trust, our cover needs to be of the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because the Lord said what? Woe to them, man. Because they're trying to add sin upon the sin. That's why they're really doing it in the first place, man. Right? When you got Jake, you talking to him, but he don't want to listen. But he tells you, you know what I'm saying, the white man can be saved, and he trusts the white man because what? The white man is his cover. The white man tells him he can add sin into sin, and he likes that. He finds it good to his spirit, man. So when it comes down to it, man, hey, they go ahead, get the next verse, Baba Kishal. Kind of get in there real quick, man. It's all a spiritual thing, man. Everything got a spiritual aspect to it, man. It's all spiritual. Everything we go through, man, on a daily basis. Read that, Baba Kishal.
God, this is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse number 2. "That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt."
You see that? And what was Egypt unto what? Slavery, man. So they go down and they trust themselves in that slavery and captivity, man. There's some people who will rather be in Babylon than turn back into the Lord, man. And those same people are going to do what? Hearken onto his inventions, man. And they're going to apply it to their heart, and they're going to trust in it with all their heart and with all their soul, man. And they're going to what? Do their commandments rather than the Lord's commandments, man. Right? Hey, when Esau said that you got to get vaccinated, how many Jakes do you think went up there and got vaccinated, man? I had to argue my parents down to try to stop them from getting vaccinated. Right? But I bet you honestly that majority of them secretly went and got vaccinated, man, and didn't tell me, man. So hey, that's what's going on in these last days, man. The Lord is creating that separation. Now you're starting to start to be able to see who's spiritual and who's physical. Who's spiritual and who's carnal. Right? Who's cleaning up their spirit and who loves having their spirits defiled, man. And them accepting this chip or this biometrics inside their bodies, right? That's a small step just to show it, man. But with that, I yield.
Con. And we can hop into this Next article, real quick, because it was similar to the first one and the last one, kind of combined, right? So this, let's see, yeah, it's this one, right? This is scientists just got closer to creating artificial life in a lab, right?
Mm.
Again, this is nothing new, you know. You kind of look up conspiracy theories on YouTube, you kind of see what's going on. Okay. Scientists, they kind of coming closer, you know, they growing, you know, kids in labs and this and that, right? Everybody's seen Stranger Things, you know, the girl, she was made in the lab, or she was taken and raised in the lab and things like that. We've all known about this. This is they put it in our face, right? So it says a controversial. Well, I'm gonna skip down actually. It says in interviews with the Washington Post, scientists say they've created an RNA molecule that made copies of other types of RNA, which gets its experts even ever closer to creating the conditions for early Earth life in a lab, right? So they're starting to replicate certain forms of DNA and RNA and are able to use it in a way that's not natural. You know, we all know it takes two people to make a you know a make life, right? Now they're using they're taking the DNA, right, splicing it up, using it in a lab, and now these people are kind of being made in labs, man, test tubes, right? So this isn't that you can't grow a nation from a test tube, man. You could raise an army, you know. You can make a little robot army like Esau they got going on, right? The heathen they got going on. But you cannot make a nation from a lab, man. This is not the ways of the most high, right? And the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. And this is not fruitful, man, right? It says, as part of their research, WAPO reports they created a lab-made RNA molecule that accurately copied others and resulted in a functioning enzyme. So this thing is kind of starting to move around a little bit. It says now that the institute has done that, is poised to study the earliest evolutionary stages of life in unprecedented ways, right? So I ain't gonna get into all this because it's a mumbo jumbo that I half this stuff I really can't even pronounce. To be honest, right? But I'm gonna get a precept on this real quick, right? I'm gonna get the book, the classic, right? First Samuel 2:6, because you can't, we already read Esau. They want to be like the Most High. You can't, usurp authority over the what the Lord set up, right? It says the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up, right? Now I read an article. A woman, she was talking to her dead mom through AI, right? The Lord bring it down to the grave and bring it up, right? But
Salaki.
Esau, now he wants to raise the dead and
It's
get you
crazy.
to go ahead.
Salaki, it's crazy that you said that. I just seen a video of a Moabite talking to her dead daughter with AI.
See, you know, so there's two examples, talking to the, and that's, hey, who else talked to the dead? Saul talked to the dead, and
Yeah,
Saul was going off, right?
yeah.
So that's for witchcraft. You talking to your dad mom, and she talking back, and she giving you advice on life and telling you, how to move about certain situations. And you're like, well, I just needed the closure, and I just needed, well, the closure, that closure came when, she kind of went down to the grave, you know, as brutal as it may seem, the Lord bring it down to the grave. He said that, you know. But Esau, that I ain't even gonna specifically say Esau, because these nations they help out too. You got Elam, they technologically advanced, they kind of up there, you know. Even though Esau's wicked, hey, Esau, we give him too much credit sometimes. It's these nations too. They got to get it too. It says he bring it down to the grave and bring it up, right? So these nations, they're not they're trying to be in a position to reverse the roles that the Most High gave out, right? The Most High says that He created man and woman. Well, now you have non-binary, right? You got all these different. I can't even get into it because it's a headache. All these different terms, right, and terminologies and politically correct. And now you got to be PC, right, when you address somebody in a formal setting, right? the Lord never called anybody, binary, non-binary. Adam was not gender fluid, and talking to his dead, mom. So we understand this is all just a matter of confusion, right? And the Lord, as we know, is not the author of confusion. If it's not thus said the Lord or via the oracles of the Lord, right, you have to watch what you take in, because sooner or later you kind of start to believe this madness, right? And you kind of start falling for it, right? You kind of start getting into it. Now you asking people what their pronouns are at work, right? God forbid. Now you asking people, what are your pronouns? And they kind of say, I'm a them, they, and you kind of rolling with it. Well, I told her, oops, I meant them, and now, your mind is all messed up and frazzled because you've been taken into the doctrines and philosophies of America, right? But if you got a point about it, you can bring it out.
Hey, man, yeah, man. Just imagine, right now they're starting to create artificial life in the lab, man. Imagine you know what I'm saying? You kind of go over to your neighbor's house, right? And you ask him, hey, where's his wife at? And he says, oh, she's plugged up right now. She's charging. Give her like 20 more minutes. You should be ready to cook dinner, man. She kind of walk in there, a robot, and she kind of rubbing his stomach, man. Right?
Right.
That's what we get into nowadays, man.
He said, give her 20 more minutes.
She's gonna be done. She's on the supercharger. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get one of those Tesla chargers. I plugged it up to her back.
Yeah.
She's gonna be done she's gonna be done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you go to the outlet store. We got an outlet store where I live. It's about 15 minutes. You go to the outlet store, and they got the Tesla chargers. You kind of imagine seeing somebody's rib charging, man. That's a wicked.
Hey, man,
Charging outside.
and he's gonna be protective of her. He's gonna stand right there. He's gonna watch her charge, man.
We got about 3 hours till your full battery, baby.
You see
That's
that?
madness.
Sitting there stroking her hair, man, with her head on his shoulder.
He's gonna patting her back. It's gonna be okay.
Patting her back. It's okay. It's almost done.
We're almost done. About
it's
2
not
more
okay,
hours.
man.
Like she's in labor.
You see that? Hey, and that's what it's getting down to, man. And it's gonna be even crazy when what? All hell break loose and that EMP hit. Then it's gonna really go crazy. Right? That's when people really gonna go crazy, man. When that EMP hit and there's no lights, there's no electricity now plumbing's not working, right? The immigrants is coming over here, they're gonna be able to survive because they used to dealing with that in Mexico or wherever they're coming in from. But us, Americans, so-called Americans, they have no idea. They don't know how to deal with that.
Yep.
Right, your lights go out, you kind of stuck. You don't know what to do in your house, man. You kind of walk around in circles, man.
You're right. You got the using your phone flashlight, the phone dies. It's wraps.
Hey,
it's absolutely
wraps,
finished.
man. Guess what? Jake don't got candles, man. He ain't got no dang lantern.
He ain't got
You can grab anybody. Go outside right now and talk to anybody. I bet you they don't know how to make a fire without a lighter, man.
Yeah, Jake, he carry around the torch now. It's not the lighter, he got the torch.
Oh, he got the torch now. So that's what he's doing now. He lighting the torch.
He got the torch for tabernacles.
You see that? Fancy, man. Hey, our forefathers, they had what? They had the wood, the sticks, man, rubbing that together to make fire, man. So you see what we getting down to, man. Technology is making a lot of people dumber, man, and a lot of people are going to suffer for it, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? I think we should go get on to that next topic, man.
And this will be the last. Oh, go ahead.
Unless you got more to bring out.
No, that was it. These are fairly simple. I ain't gonna say simple, but these are things that we usually bring out. Anyway. So I don't really want to beat a dead horse. We ain't got to stay on it for too long, because we pretty much got the point out. Right. But this will be the last article. And this is, let me share this tab. Right. It says
firing it for the first time at this small boat target. Here's what it looks like inside the small boat.
Reload the page because You know what? I want to get a. I want you to understand what he's saying or hear what he's saying. So let me see.
Now have a ray gun, a directed energy weapon. The USS Portland firing it for the first time at this small boat target. Here's what it looks like inside the small boat when it gets hit. Infrared cameras showed the USS Portland firing the directed energy weapon at the small boat and other towed targets. This allows them to precisely hit close-in targets to protect the ship from any attack.
I'm gonna play it one more time.
This is so cool. The Navy ships now have a.
And he's saying this is cool, man. Right? These are, you know, these, you know, they love war, you know. And the scripture says it's time for everything. The Lord is a man of war, right? But these Edomites chiefly, you know, the sword was their blessing. So of course, you know, they're gonna fall in love with this stuff, you know. But you know, now you got laser ships being on well, this isn't a new thing, of course, but he's just pointing out, you know, you got lasers and things of that. You know, he's suggesting that this is what's starting the wildfires, right?
A ray gun, a directed energy weapon. The USS Portland firing it for the first time at this small boat target. Here's what it looks like inside the small boat when it gets hit. Infrared cameras showed the USS Portland firing the directed energy weapon at the small.
And that's insane. Look at that. That's something you see at the climax of a movie. You know, this is the final boss. And this is the final part of the game, man. And all you see is this bright laser. And it's a bright flash. And then what happens.
Right? And you see it for a glimpse. They show you how mighty it is. You kind of come into the scene. It shoots that one beam, knock out one of the biggest ships, and the next thing you know, it's pulled up on you. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Man.
Yep.
And then they tell you to defeat it.
Yep. So this is just a display of the weaponry that they have, man. It's not no simple, you know, machine gun, right? It's not a simple pistol, man. They're not working with muskets anymore. They're working with lasers, right? You know, they ain't got to, you know, kind of shoot and then it take a whole 30 minutes to restock or reload, and then they got to shoot it one more time. You know, this is a highly concentrated beam, man. They, you know, I don't know the specifics. You know, I'm a rocket engineer, right? But they say, you know, energy and particles and things of that sort goes into it, and heat, right, and pressure, right. So, you know, you see a look at these comments. Hey, everybody's in disbelief. Talk about first time, right? This is not the first. This is far from the first time, right? But now that, you know, there's, you know, people are, you know, they're going to have their opinions and things of that sort. But, you know, this is the things that they're starting to showcase, man. So this is not new.
Small boat and other towed targets. This allows them to precisely hit close-in targets to protect the ship from any attack.
So they have a defense and offense.
Hey,
right?
Hey,
You got it.
Hey, Con, this stuff has already been invented before, man. How do we know? Because the Lord created these things.
Yep. Right. And it tells you that in Ecclesiastes, hey, there's nothing new under the sun. Oh, you still had a point?
Oh, Salaki, go ahead. No, you good.
Oh, we got Karatas up in here. There we go. Shalom, King. Right.
Brothers over
But
there.
Right. I'm gonna play this for you, Karatas.
I was watching. I had a point to make on that. What you guys were just saying, like you talking about that laser beam that just hit. You know, like think about it. And all the great movies, like you were saying, like you remember that big scene in Independence Day when the laser beam just came down and blew up the White House. It's gonna be the chariots of the Most High taking down Babylon, man. So you know they got the little bitty lasers trying to mimic the Most High, like they always say. They try to bring, like was it Isaiah 14? I think, but 14 on down, that they want to be like the Most High, right? So they try to make the little beams like could be on the chariots. But you already know when the Lord comes back, his laser beams are gonna be melting mountains and everything else. So yeah.
God, I'm gonna pull up a picture just to get a visual. right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna make this the background for the Blow the Trumpet series, man. You know, and this thing actually explodes, so you can have a highly concentrated beam of light, you know, and it explodes stuff, man. Right? And that's what the chariots are gonna do. See, a lot of these Edomites and heathens, they take experience, not experience, they take what's the word? Inspiration from the Bible, right?
Oh yeah.
So when you got chariots that are all powerful that don't make a noise, but they could blend in, right? They could, go invisible, they could split, they could change color, right? They're capable of all these things and very extremely powerful, right? What do you think you kind of get the idea of a laser from? You think Esau kind of just, and these are base men. The scriptures say these are base people. They don't just come up with stuff like this. They got to take it from something, right? They got to steal their way, into creating something new, or or reinventing something. Because Esau, they're not very, inventive. These people, they're not very creative, right? They have no culture, right? They still rape, rob, and murder everything that they come across. So they stole this idea from the Bible, from the chariots. This is the destruction that's coming via the chariots, right?
Hey,
Just like that missile.
bring out that Isaiah 66 and 15 because it kind of just goes into it right there. Because when you really think about it, like what is a laser? When you got a magnifying glass and it's just in the sun, it produces a high concentrated energy laser based off of the sun, which causes a what? A fire.
You're right. It says Isaiah 66 and 15, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to
And go
render
back to the
his.
picture that you had of the Independence Day. When you look at it, it's a chariot that looks like a whirlwind. What does a whirlwind do? It rotates, it turns. So when you always see these spaceships, these types of spaceships, what are they doing in place when they're sitting there? They're not sitting there. They're rotating and slowly in place. And then that fire beam, that laser beam coming with fire, this is the fire that the chariots are going to be coming with, man.
Yep. So this is straight up from the scripts, right? You can't come up with this, man. Right? You can't. This is an original thought from the Most High. This is Esau didn't come up with lasers, right? We'd be a fool to think Esau came up with any of his inventions, right? Because
Right.
Jacob is the former of all things to begin with, right? But the Most High, hey, there's nothing new under the sun. The Most High made all this, right? Like I was saying, speaking on the missiles, hey, that's an arrow, right? The Lord said that his sword shall be bathed in heaven, right? His and it's not going to miss the mark, right? So that's where the missiles come in, you know. So these things aren't new concepts. These things we can't give Esau all the credit for coming up with this and that. Yes, their blessing is the sword, right? But Esau, he didn't invent this. Shit, we could barely invent this, this is a foreign concept, man. This is literally alien technology, right? This is angel technology.
And then
Right?
when you really continue on that script, it actually gets you into it says to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. But it says by verse 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So think about that. How is a lot of people going to get taken out with all these governments, with all these forms of what do they call it, a defensive system, right? So what is Babylon or America's claim to fame is with their artillery, that they're a powerhouse with weaponry, and they're going to be destroyed like it's nothing. So imagine the amount of chariots, amount of fire, the amount of force, the host of the angels coming, and what kind of weaponry they have in comparison to what the base men of this earth created. It's not even a comparable kind of concept to think about, right? So like, and then you look at also what's happened with these lasers as well. I don't know if you've seen it recently, but it was like They recently had, they said in what was it, El Paso, where we're at in Texas, that they saw like a green laser beam before the wildfires in Texas started. So Esau seemed to be, he's a little pyromaniac, little fire starter, man.
Yeah, a little arsonist, man.
Straight up arsonist.
Right? But hey, we just hit an hour. If I ain't got nothing else, if brothers got anything else, right? I think Potter had to step away. You got anything else, Hot?
Con, can we get a classic precept?
Gone.
2 Corinthians 13:5.
Gone, for sure.
All right, they Arsenio Hall. That wasn't a good one. Arsenal, arsonist, Arsenio Hall. No, my bad.
Put it back in the oven.
You got his old man hat on right now, I bet you.
See that? See that? I got the Kango one. Hey, let's read that real quick, Baba Kishah.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13:5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates.
So examine yourself in these last days, Israel. This is the most important thing, man. Right? If you are in a congregation, it's not a guarantee that everybody's paying attention. Right? Sometimes we go through hell, we go through afflictions, and we kind of stuck in our minds and focus on getting ourselves out of it. But we all got to be examining our spirits, making sure that everything we do is not in the spirit of man, but in the spirit of Christ, man. Right? It's moving in the spirit of Christ and in the spirit of the Most High God, man. So with that, I want y'all to examine yourselves and think, you know what I'm saying? What did you do today that amplified the name of the Lord? Right? I don't know if brothers got a precept or anything, but go ahead.
Hey, Khan, that's a beautiful precept to land on. It all comes with self-examination, especially with Passover coming up. But I ain't got no more points. It's on you, Karatazar. If you got anything else, we can close this.
Salakia, some things came through, but you guys brought out a mighty episode today with all the points that you guys are making. But yeah, like the classic for me, we're gonna do Psalms 27:14, brother. Bring that out. That's generally the only that I could actually do. That is, I would think to be very important in these last days, especially when 27:14. When we're trying to get us to get to that point spiritually and with the greatest point of sincerity that there's only a few things we can do. So if you don't mind.
This is the book of Psalm chapter 27 and verse 14. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord.
And you're gonna need that. You're gonna need to wait on the Lord. You see Esau fighting with laser beam. Jake, he can go get a Glock 19 with a switch on it. Can you go buy yourself a laser beam? I don't believe so. So to think that you can compete with the sword, the Esau, what the Lord has set up for the destruction, you need to have a better sense of understanding and spirit to wait on the Lord in these last days and be of good courage. So when you start seeing, buildings exploding, fire coming to the land, death on by the thousands, think about what's going on in the earth right now. And these people running around experiencing death at a high level, they're seeing, walking down the street, they're shoot, bunch of kids, and when the bomb go off and they're exploded, man. Bits and pieces of kids and grown-ups everywhere. So how's your spirit gonna fare when the Lord said he got a greater judgment to Babylon than he does to Gaza, than he does to Ukraine? And when you start seeing all this death and destruction, you're gonna have a good courage. You're gonna have a sound heart. You're gonna have trust and faith in the Lord and be up to a point of understanding in the scripture that you know that these things are to come, that you don't have fear taking over and doubt, and the Lord knows, hey, if you study to show thyself approved, you're keeping the law, statutes, commandments faithfully, you're praying diligently, fasting to keep your spirit strong. That's what's going to strengthen thine heart. And then I say, wait on the Lord. And then on that, I just yield.
That's it. That's the point. Right. So all praise to the Most High. Right. We kind of got it out there, letting it be known the things that are going on in the earth currently. Right. Brother you call SOZ Atlanta.
Hey, this brother Karate SOZ Houston.
And the brother Potter Owafia from SOZ Houston.
right? And you know, Kwame Asharella, right? Shalom.
Love y'all,
Shalom.
Israel. Shalom.
Shalom. Love y'all.